T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
I've been getting high all day. Whew. You're now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world, New Breeder on the Block series. What is good? I'm your boy, MJ. Hope everyone's having a great start of their Monday, start of their week. Very excited about tonight's episode. My boy, Rodney, got some heavy hitters in the early birds already showing respect. I love it. If it's your guys' first time tapping in, do your boy a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment. Let me know how you're liking. Let me know how you're liking the guests. Let me know how you're liking the show. I'm trying to come out with at least 4 podcasts a week. Lately, my international guests have been really flaky. Fucking thanks, UK. But I also have a bunch of other hitters in different countries. So listen, I come out with a lot of great podcast content from this channel. So it's very crucial. If you're into reptiles, you're into ball pythons, all that great stuff, you want to hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of everything, man. But what is good with everybody out there? Hope everyone's doing good. You guys know how we start shit here, man. For the freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep, Cold-Blooded Cafe is the #1 parlay on that. Day one, pinks to the mammoth rats to your doorstep. That's at Cold-Blooded Cafe. New logo, but the same old fucking rodent. Bomb ass. The Whole Foods of the rodent game. That's all I got to say. Shout out to Desiree and Steven. Shout out to a whole entire Cold-Blooded Cafe team. Thank you for everything you do. Shout out to my 2 homies, John and Alex, over at Sim Container. If you got eggs, go put them inside of a Sim box. Less stress. Sims is the best. They also have an amazing monitor program going on. Both of them do. So go give them a follow on Instagram if you're into monitors. But yeah, man, if you got eggs, try a Sim box. I'm telling you right now, it's less stress on your mind, which is also great when keeping animals, right? And then shout out to Stephen and Ashley, Flex in Texas all day, every day. Focus Cube Habitats. The future of enclosures has been here. You know what I'm saying? PVC built enclosures. They design their own special way, and I think it's awesome. They also do custom stuff as well. So go check them out on Instagram. Go to their websites. And yeah, shout out to Focus Cube Habitat. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. And then shout out to the big homie, Jesse, and the entire Freedom Breeder crew, stainless steel racks made in the United States, aka the #1 stainless steel racks made in the United States. It's a Freedom Breeder. It's the real deal. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't really you can't tell me otherwise after I walk into a facility like Canova and just seeing brand new fucking Freedom Breeder wall to wall goals. Shout out to Jesse. Keep killing it. And shout out to my big dog right here, killing it in different countries and shit. My boy Miguel Garcia. Always Evolving Pythons. Check him out on Instagram. Amazing ball python breeder, amazing YouTuber, amazing family man. This is my boy right here, man. Inspires me on so many different levels, but he's been a day one homie for sure. So I appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you sponsoring the channel. All your love and support. Appreciate you, Tina, and Jesse, Ace, Aubrey, the entire AEP family. MJ loves you. And then shout out to Alan and over at Amazing Basins. Definitely one of a kind guy right here. Very dialed in with these basins. I have a really good feeling about his year this year. So if you're into basins, if you want to learn more about basins, I highly recommend you go to Instagram, follow my boy Alan at Amazing Basins, and really go jump on his Patreon page, because his Patreon page is fire if you want to become maybe a potential basin owner, especially something that he's produced, obviously. So hit him up. It's my boy Alan. He also works with really awesome ball pythons that he's just now starting to kind of like show. So I think it's really awesome. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate your support. And then shout out to my boy Blake Stewart. Stewart Design. I'm telling you right now, this guy's going to change the game in so many different ways. He already is. Biggest influence behind so many different people wanting to change their brand. I'm one of them. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever change the name, you know, I'm fucking Trap Talk till I die. You feel me? But, you know, never know. I'm just saying I am wanting to do this for the rest of my life, and I want to take my branding serious. So I am talking to my man, Blake Stewart. If you're in that position, if you are doing this for the rest of your life and you're like, man, what can I do to elevate my brand? You know, I got some fucking crazy ball python money and I just want to invest, or, you know, I would say other species. I mean, what, geckos? I don't want to say helicondra money, because that ain't a real thing. But anyways, if you got money and you want to invest in yourself, especially, you know, if you haven't invested anything in a brand yet, your brand is everything. Go hit up Blake Stewart, Stewart Design, my homie Blake. Shout out to Blake. Can't wait to catch up with you soon. You're my boy Blue. And then, dude, I had an amazing time today with my boy Rami, the man behind the Reptile Super Shows. This guy took me on a great little cool adventure today. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Shout out to my boy Rami. If you are ever on the West Coast, make plans to come into the West Coast, and there's a Reptile Super Show going on, you better go to a Reptile Super Show. Go see what it's like. It is amazing. The vibe is great. So many amazing vendors, so many OG vendors. And I'm telling you right now, West Coast Reptile Super Shows, that's number one. I'm telling you right now, I can't beat that. And then other than the Reptile Super Shows, you have the NARBCs, where, I mean, I don't care where you're at in the United States, people go to NARBCs from all over the country, even outside of the country. You got UK hitters going to NARBCs. Fucking TINLEY was just a crazy success. My boy Rodney was at TINLEY, and I actually met him for the first time at the original TINLEY. So we're going to talk. I could chop it up with him about TINLEY tonight, and see what he felt, how March was compared to October. Listen, I had an amazing time in October, but as far as like volume wise, traffic wise, I don't know, man. March seemed like it was fucking tight. Really, really awesome. So go to an NARBC show if you can. Arlington, St. Louis, all those great shows. Please go support your local NARBC and Reptile Super Show. Shout out to Bob Ashley. Shout out to Brian Potter. Appreciate your guys' support. And then the man behind the big fight, right? Who the hell is trying to take our animals away? A bunch of fucking weird people out there. But we have our man Phil Goss fighting for us. And we got to help him, you know? He ain't a fucking goddamn Bill Gates. It's not like he has billions of dollars. We're going against people who have billions. You know what I'm saying? So we need to come together and help Phil go to these damn fucking legislation battles, and so we can get our damn animal rights and keep them. You know what I'm saying? So, by the way, if you're new to this, it's very important that you at least go to the website, read up on USARK, see what they're all about, and then become a member. Join our fight, join our team, be on our side, and don't fuck around. You feel me? Shout out to Phil Goss. Shout out to you. If you support USARK, yeah, you. I support you for supporting Phil and supporting USARK. We're on the same team. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Phil, thank you. Can't wait to catch up with you on the next show, which is when? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Been smoking all day. So anyways, Phil Goss, you're the man. I appreciate you so much. If you guys want to see what I got going on other than podcast stuff, if you want to know what animals I keep, what I'm passionate about, best way to go see all about all that is Instagram. Go to my Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. I'm very active on there, okay? And I also post a lot of updated podcast stuff, trap clips, whatnot on Trap Talk with MJ podcast. Instagram as well, so go follow that page as well on Instagram. I appreciate it. Shout out to my Twitch viewers going up. Follow me on Twitch if you have Twitch. If you would like to support this channel more than a subscription, more than a like, and for whatever reason, God bless you. I guess you guys love me, but I mean, You guys do donate, and I can't believe it. But if you want to be one of those great people, then go ahead and send that to PayPal, Exoticscartal, with an A, not an E, okay? And I'm going to send that over to fucking USARK. I appreciate that. And then shout out to my Patreon members. Thank you so much. My ride or die trap familia. I'm telling you right now, I love all the support I get, right? But I'm building this community, the trap community, trap family that's growing. We're well over 100 fucking trap members now in the Patreon group. If you want to become more, if you want more out of what you have in this reptile community, not that there isn't much, there is a lot, but if you feel like you're not really getting the real love or you're not really getting anything, dude, come fuck with the trap Patreon family. Go down to the link below. As soon as you join, we tap you into a Patreon page, we tap you into a Discord page. That's a channel at 24/7 fucking Discord full of a bunch of different channels, people very active, anywhere from ball python breeders, boa breeders, fucking chondros. I'm telling you, it's nuts and it's blowing up. So come join us. And then I'm also throwing a sick ass event this year, and it's invite only. Swear to God, invite only, security enforced, not fucking around. Trap Fest 2022 going down July 7th. Only for my Patreon members, only for guests I've had on the show. Strictly, it is what it is. So join the Patreon page if you want to come see how sick that event's going to be, or you could just see what it's like on video. That's going to be cool too. Don't matter. But Patreon members, my heart, I love you guys. We also get together every week on Zoom. Very personal. We're very personal. You feel me? It's not like, hey, let's, let me just post something and thanks. No, fuck no. I tap in with you guys every week. My energy is invested with my Patreon members. That's why I'm kind of an asshole if I don't really know you on Instagram. I don't got time for you. I got my Patreon members who I'm trying to rep with them. You feel me? So go join my Patreon page. I love my family. I love my trappers. I appreciate any support. All my viewers, you guys are amazing. Let's see. Okay, couple more plugs. Speaking of hard work, speaking of things that I'm doing, I did say, and I will continue to say, that I created 2 new YouTube channels. And, because I was putting out a bunch of stuff on one channel, but now I separated it. Okay. So now I have this channel, which is solely for the podcast, right? So like I said before, it's very important. You go to the podcast fucking YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and then you go to search here and go to Trap Talk Clips, because every Tuesday, every Thursday, I will be coming out with previous clips that guests I've had on the show. So make sure you go hit that subscribe button right there. See where it says subscribe? Boom, hit that subscribe button. And then the other channel you should really go be a part of is the Snake Trap Sessions vlogs. Okay. So make sure you go down up to the search bar, type in Snake Trap Sessions vlogs. Boom. I have part 2, Reptile facility, part 2 video coming out. So you definitely need to go subscribe to the Snake Trap Sessions vlog YouTube channel. Look right here, that red, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all boom. And that way, Wednesday, when I drop part 2, Reptile facility, which is all about their main room, right? Because dude, Reptile is big. Like, they have multiple big rooms. So it's a 3-part fucking vlog. Their first part, go check it out if you haven't yet, all about the venomous. Second part is their main room, crocodiles, all sorts of sick shit. And then the third part, don't even trip. Go subscribe. Go find out. All right. Whew, what is good? Who is in the building? Where are my early birds at, man? Let's see. There's a lot of early birds in the fucking building, dude. What is good? HB Reptiles, thank you for being here, bro. Patreon family member all day, every day. The big homie Mike, 1776 Exotics, Patreon family member all day, every day. The homie Patrick Rose, what is going on, player? Patreon family member all day, every day. Metal Scale Reptiles, what is good? The homie Jay Barber, what is good? La Familia, Patreon family member all day, every day. Eric's Morph Factory, what is good? Kevin Bateman, my homie Forest Pythons, Trap Talk family member all day. He's an OG. I'm going to stamp you as an OG, Kevin. I appreciate your support. Uniquely Muted Morphs. Whew, that was a hard one. What's good, man? Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate it. NM Reptiles. What is good? Thanks for tapping in. The homie Wiz. What's up, Wiz? Wizzy Wiz in the building. OG, day one, Trapper. And he's a Patreon family member all day, every day. I appreciate it. Then we got Norway in the building. Got the Europeans in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Trap Talk family member all day. Pacific Rim Serpents. Chantel. Trap Talk family member all day. Big homegrown in the building. Thank you for tapping in. Deviant Glass. What is good? Trap Talk family member all day. Antonio Gonzalez. Wait a minute. The Antonio Gonzalez. Kansas City Chiefs? Am I tripping? Anyways, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Triple G. What is good? Dude, Team Zoo Dreams in the fucking building. This guy's getting another crazy trap package being shipped out tomorrow. You're a real one. Jesus. Shout out to the real ones. The homie Abe, day one, homie. Chicago in the building. What is good, Abe? Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk family member all day, every day. The homie Reggie. What is good, Reggie? Probably one of the flyest dressed as far as branded, self-branded dressed individuals. I don't think anyone tops Reggie. From head to toe, this motherfucker outfit is just so fresh. Reggie, thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you. The homies, Danny and Renee Rocha, Trap Talk family members all day, every day. Wise guy, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Oh, the homie Matt, what is good? Matt Garba, I can never pronounce your last name, but O'Malley, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks for being here. This is an OG homie, man. If it's one person that I like seeing pop up in the comments from time to time, it's my boy Matt, because I don't know, Matt is somebody I could still say I'm friends with from like 2017, and there's really not too many people I really fuck with anymore from 2017 for so many different reasons. I'm just doing my thing, right? But Matt, thank you for always being a real one. My wife fucks with you tough. Go follow my boy O'Malley's Morph. He's a fucking day oneer for sure. Wu-Tang all day, every day. Luke, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Cuddle Time Critters, thanks for tapping in. Gen Z Reptiles, what is good, player? Thanks for tapping in. Julio Fulio, Trap Talk family member all day. Thanks for tapping in. The fucking Mushroom Cowboy, Harry from Canada. Thank you for tapping in, Harry. I missed you, buddy. Charles, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. And let's hang on. Let's see. We'll end it with, we ended with Dom last time, but should we end? Oh, no, we got one more person I can end it with. The homie Dom, what is good? 727, excuse me, the homie Dom, 702 Serpents. And I'm going to end it in style with my man, Matthew Summers, who apparently has a girlfriend now. Thanks. There goes my fucking, that's it. Remote podcast is my manager. Gone. More likely. I'm just kidding. I don't know how she is. I'm going to pray. Can you guys all do me a favor out there? If you do pray, if you're somebody like me who prays, please pray that this girl that Matthew meets is A, the one, right? Because he deserves to have the one. But B, that she's not the also one that's fucking like, woo. Can we all, come on, listen. I had to go through a lot of fucking bad, whorish apples before I got to this beautiful girl, okay? And I just want Matt to have the best, but I don't want him to fuck up the remote podcast. I'm just kidding. I love you, Matt. You're my boy. Either way, don't be stupid. You're my boy. And wear a condom. I'm just kidding. All right. We are good. Happy that you guys are all here. Yeah, let's see. My boy right here, Rodney's been around. I mean, I don't want to say been around, but he's been hanging tight. You know what I'm saying? He's been a supporter day one. And the fact that this fool actually came out quick with the sick logo, came out quick with the branding, he's following up with his fucking work, which I love. So I'm very interested to see how it's been for my homie Rodney. A lot of you guys obviously out here fucking with my man Rodney because the comments are blowing up, and that's how I know how much this guest is respected. So without further ado, here's my boy Rodney from Black Sun Reptiles. What is good, pimpin'?
Hey, what's going on?
How you living?
I'm doing well. Sounds like you got a lot going on over there.
Every day, bro.
You say busy. That's good.
It just don't stop. You feel me? But honestly, it gives me energy. Like, I mean, my energy starts very like strong in the morning, and then like afternoon I tank, and then I gain a little bit of energy again, and then right before the nighttime it drops. But the fact that I know I'm about to go live with somebody I know we have a lot in common, man, because
sure.
your growth, the way people fuck with you organically, so much energy from this podcast tonight because how much I respect you. So first and foremost, thanks for being here, Rodney. I want to know how things have been for you. I mean, first off, 2021. Let's talk about 2021. How did that go for you? I feel like last first year, like really getting things down.
Yeah, last year was a serious year for us. So we made the plunge to dive into some newer genetics that we haven't tinkered with before. We had the most clutches that we've ever had. And we also decided just to go official, and start BSR as a business. So it was a big year for us. We're currently, moving forward with trying to lock down a newer property to expand, just like a lot of people that have been doing this for a while. So it was a really good year. I think all the vibes that we wanted in terms of positivity fell into our lap. So I know that's something that you believe in. And for me, it was exactly the same. It's like, okay, we're going to hit this thing full steam ahead, try some newer genetics, try some things that we haven't done before. And it worked out for the best. So it was a good year.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, bro, I just feel like you're not thirsty for anything ever since ever since I started following you and you follow me on Instagram, all the way to us meeting in person. I never felt like you're like trying so hard to either get attention or you're trying so hard to like be something you're really not. You're literally just going with the flow of things and you're making moves as you're doing it. And
For sure.
because of that, you have like a legit respect of people who are either been in this as long as you, just now going into this, or people who have been in this longer than you. So I think that's awesome. Let me ask you, how long do you really go back as far as looking at these snakes as a business? I mean, was this blossom really recent, or I mean, when did that really become a plant?
I feel like it's semi-recent. You know, I've always kept reptiles. You know, all of us started somewhere in terms of like being a hobbyist. For me, what kind of rekindled our fire again was when my daughter started getting interested in it, right? So I grew up loving reptiles, always being around reptiles. So she kind of just at an early age was super interested in it. So we started going to shows. I mean, I'm talking 2014, 2015. The thing that really sparked our fire was leopard geckos. The first time like I realized that morphs were like super interesting in a thing is when we started looking at genetics from leopard geckos. So Steve Sykes over at Geckos, etc. You know, he's well established over in Sacramento. So we started looking at his page and like seeing that if you mix this, you can get that. This is before Morph Market, right? So we had these genetic calculators for leopard geckos and all that energy. When I'm going to these shows to look for leopard geckos, we're peeking over here like, dang, that's what they're doing with ball pythons now? That's insane. You know, so Maddie's like, hey, can I get a snake? I'm like, yep. You know, and then we never looked back. So you know, we started off with pies. That was my first love. When I seen a pied on a magazine, I was like, that is unreal.
What year was that?
I was a kid, man. I had a ball python.
Oh, wow.
I had a ball python in 2006, 2007. But it's just a normal ball python. People thought they were junk because we didn't know how to keep them. You know, there wasn't a lot of people teaching the way we were. And plus I was immature, right? So as a teenager, you know, when you're young, you're not seeking out information from other intelligent individuals. You're just trying to, you know, keep these animals the best way you can through word of mouth. I was lucky enough to have a good friend that his dad was a keeper. So he had like Colombian rainbows. He had a bunch of like, he had monitors. He had he had Niles, like when they were first like getting pretty.
Wait, Rodney, where you from, bro? Where you at?
Yeah, I grew up in California in the Bay Area. So I grew up in the Bay Area. I was born and raised out there. My dad took a job in Nevada. So I lived in Nevada for a little bit, like through the end of high school.
Right.
And then I ended up playing baseball down in Southern California. So it's kind of funny.
Dude, you look like a ball player. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I don't want to say catch or like you had to play infield or something.
Yeah.
I want to say. Would you play shortstop or short? I
played shortstop. Yep. In college.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Dude. Where'd you go to college at?
So I went to junior college at Saracoso, down where in Ridgecrest, California. So where Antoine's from. So we used to play like in Lancaster where Miguel's at and all that. So I was in that area for, 3 years.
And what year? I'm just because I went to UW. I played baseball for 1 year at university. So I'm just, what year was this?
That was 03 through 05. So 02, 03, 03, 04, 04, 05.
That's the same age as me. That's the same era.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
And then
shit, what a trip.
And then I got a ride to go play in the Midwest. And so then I went out there and I've been here ever since. So that was kind of my story. But I always had stuff, MJ. Like I had Pac-Man frogs and, these leopard geckos here, leopard geckos there. Like I always had stuff kicking around. So
the thing is, like, I always wanted everything, but like obviously, like growing up, like my mom didn't even want me to have the 2 snakes that I had, but
right.
I was able to keep them for as long as I did until life happens, especially when you're younger, you can't control it. But I remember I always wanted to try to get a reptile. And I remember even when I got that one reptile, I wanted something else. I remember even in Washington, when I finished my last year in school up there, I had a leopard gecko. I don't even know. I think I gave it to somebody. Who knows? But I had a leopard gecko and 2 ball pythons. And they were like, I was like the life of the party. Every time I had a fucking people at my house, like busting them out was like just so like, but like I loved them just as much then, like, you know what I mean? Like, right. I didn't like it. There was like to me, and like the whole finding out that there was morphs and you could do that never fucked with my love for the animal. Like like if you couldn't make mad bills off these, I would still have a shit ton of reptiles. Like
We did.
Right.
We did. That's the
Exactly.
difference. Yeah, I feel like that's the difference from people that kept, years and years ago from to now is like this is their normal and this is our this is our HD. Like this is our upgrade.
Right.
Which doesn't make it any better or worse, but it definitely puts things in perspective. It's mind-blowing to see what some of these guys are making, first year breeders, second year breeders. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
Which
it
keeps
is.
me excited because you wake up every morning and there's another amazing creation or the bar keeps being raised. And I feel like being an ex-athlete, that was the thing that made us tick, just constantly raising the bar. I translate that to my professional life as well. It's just something I hear you talk about it a lot too. Whether it's always evolving or whatever, it's like always bettering yourself. And I feel like this industry and successful people kind of go hand in hand. So
And I feel like, coming from somebody who had, dude, like, I had fucking good friends in college ball, high school ball, and and even in the music industry, and I was a piece of shit to like so many people. Like just my whole life, I did have an attitude where I felt better than people. Like I just had, I never really knew the true value of empathy and compassion until I got into the animal game. The animal game made me realize like how to care more, like just for just people who fuck with me. Like I would even be mean to people who love me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, I'm not perfect, but the fact that I was able to pick out my flaws so quickly being into this game makes me just want to keep evolving, bro. Like I'm not done. Like, and that's why I don't, listen, if I have to fucking stand on some shit and own it, I will. I don't like, call me out on anything you want. I'm not hiding anything. Cause trust me, anything I've done in the past, like, it ain't gonna be. I will never outdo the shit that I did in the past. Let's just say that. Like, and I'm still here. You know what I mean? Like I've come a long ways. Let's just say that. But so let's kind of talk.
That speaks volumes in and of itself, though.
I appreciate that, man.
That in and of itself is growth. So a lot of people want to keep things in the closet, what have you, and really the true essence of growth is dealing with it. I always talk about that, like because I work with at-risk kids. I have for years. And I say, for me, my job is to go towards the fire. When a lot of people are leaving the building, running away from the fire, I need to go towards it. And that's the same with like anger or, any sort of, mental health issue that a person's dealing with. Like I've become comfortable with going towards and spending time with those people. And I think that's the same fascination that people have in overcoming their fear of reptiles. Right. So it's like, first it's this big, scary thing. And then it's like, oh, okay, I've created this bond and now we have trust. And now I want to show you this bond and this trust, with friends or family or what have you. It all ties back together.
I mean, I don't want to get too deep on this because I do want to start talking about your projects, but I want to get like kind of deep on how, like, I want to tell you how deep this goes with why I was the way I was up to the animals. And you should know this because of baseball, right? Yeah. Dude, like my whole life was baseball, bro. Like my dad was my coach. My dad was a very tough coach. My dad, like, God forbid, if I didn't go 4 for 4 and, and that next at bat, my dad's already shaking his head at the third base. Like, you already fucked this whole game up. You already, you popped up. And like, that
I played for some of those.
Bro, that was my life. No, fuck those. My dad was that. That was my dad, bro. Like, and I always felt like I wasn't like, my dad, I don't want to say this and hurt my dad's feelings because he listens to this, but I always felt like I was never good enough consistently for my dad, right? So then that's when I latched onto the music industry. And the music industry got me connected into clubs and whatnot. And that was good. But no club DJ actually makes money unless you're like a resident in Vegas. But other than that, you get in free, you get free drinks, you get probably like $100-$200, but you do not make money as a club DJ. I don't give a fuck what you say. So I figured out, I was trying to figure out, well, like, how can I do this as a living? And obviously making your own music, becoming a producer. And I tried shortcutting that. And you cannot, like, bro, it's just like shortcutting breeding, right? I knew how much time, how much work, how much, like, I can't go out. I need to be in the studio and do all that. And I didn't have that dedication. Like, and because of that, I only went so far in the music and I became bitter. And that's why I was just like, fuck, I took my frustrations. I took out how I felt about myself on everyone else. Like, really, I was mad because I was lazy. I was mad because I wasn't a good people person, meaning like keeping solid relationships. I was just kind of being a fuck up. And it was hard for me being with the fuck up until the snake game came. Yeah. And the snake game, bro, I was getting positivity that I've never seen before. Like, and I was like, whoa, like people think like, and I actually felt like that worth I was craving. Like, I just wanted to feel like, I don't know, man, like, you know, dude, being one of the best players on the team throughout your whole life, like you just like that praise, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love fucking having the 4-slot, 5-slot batting slot all the time because I fucking made the runs come in. Like, I made the shit happen. I love making shit happen, and I love people going like this. Like, that's my addiction. I can't explain it any other way. But
you can. It just meaning is a vital, I guess, part of being positive. Like having meaning, having purpose. You know, and so many guys in the reptile industry recognize that. Like, hey, my animals need me. You know, so that's gonna fill my bucket with meaning. Now, there's some other pillars that you have to have balance, of course, but being an athlete, that gave us achievement and it gave us meaning right off the bat, you know,
Right.
and it does fuel your fire. You know?
Well, I mean, let's talk about why I only went so far in baseball. Well, because I mean, bro, if you're the number 1 G in high school and you go to a fucking D1, if you go to any fucking division, bro, you are not the big guy no more, bro. And
No.
and I didn't follow up with the kind of workouts and the long tosses and shit that I was not ready for when going to these kind of programs. And that crumbled me because now I'm like, dude, I was already checked out. I'll never forget the first day on fucking practice on campus when I was next to these guys. I was like, I was so like already broken and I was already checked out, bro. And I went up to a year and then I got, blew my arm out. And as much as I was depressed and sad that I was done, I was happy because I was terrified to be at that level. I was very terrified. I'm not gonna lie. And then I had my dad on my breathing down my neck too. And it was really fucking like anxiety. Like just like every day was fucking just not good.
Going from high school to a D1 campus is a monumental jump for a young person. For a 17 or 18-year-old, that's a monumental jump.
I didn't turn 18 until after the second week of school. So I was already, I was
you
still
have a summer birthday? August?
Yep. August.
Yeah, but I'm July. I was young for my age as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the same thing that we talk to like incoming breeders too. And a lot of the people that were doing this before me gave me advice. They're like, take it slow, one step at a time. Just because you enjoy it and you like it and you were successful with 2 clutches, don't go to 55 clutches. You know, that's that's the same transition that, you know, some high schoolers experience when they go from playing in their high school ball to, you know, pitching at a D1 school without the proper transition time. You know?
Like, I mean, I can't tell you how kind of ball player you were because I never played with you, but like, do you ever remember playing with somebody and just like seeing their work ethic and you're just like, holy shit, like this guy's a fucking stud. Like, and like
Evan Longoria. Longoria. He's from Whittier, California. He was in the same conference. I played shortstop. He played shortstop, and he was on a different level.
Khalil Green, you know Khalil. Remember Khalil Green?
Khalil Green. Yeah.
That he wasn't anything big, but just the way he could throw a ball, right? Like I'm just like, bro, like how do you get to that level of fucking just eliteness? And it's the same, but it's the same, dude. Anybody who could breed puts in the time, and it's bro, eat, breathe, and shit, or what is it? Breathe, eat, and shit baseball, bro. Like those, and like I was baseball, like I loved it, but I also did motocross. Like I was not like, you know what I mean? Like I there's just people who all they did was baseball. And,
see, I was never one of those guys. I always did lots of things. Like I played football too, you know, and I snowboarded and I did everything. I was always the doer.
Yeah, me too, bro. I feel you.
Even people that are just meeting me like recently, they're like, man, you're always doing stuff. I was like, that's just always been me. You know, I always hung with different crowds and spend time with different people. I don't know. I've always been intrigued by what the world has to offer. Like that's one thing I respect about you is that you dabble into lots of different species. You know, like you've expanded, you know, and that's hard. You know, what you're doing and all those different, that's tough. You know, it takes a lot of courage to even dip your toe into that.
I wish I could agree with you in saying it's tough because it ain't even gotten tough yet. Like all the other shit that you're speaking about is now being bred. It is now coming. So I appreciate you, man. But it's about to get tough as shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm ready, bro. Like, listen, I had years of preparation before this moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I already prepared. I'm already ready to go, and I'm not gonna bitch and whine if things die. It is what it is. We just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel? One thing that I don't know if people talk about enough is like learning from failure. Like
Oh,
So
I
many
want it.
people talk about when people fail, they quit. Like they go away from snakes, they go away from sports, they go away. Like most of the people that I've spent time with that are doing this or successful in any other entity of their life, like they failed before. Like they've either hit rock bottom or they were unsuccessful in another business venture or a relationship, et cetera, et cetera. And now they're like, you know what? I've learned from that. And I'm going to apply these set of skills to make sure that one, I don't make those mistakes anymore. And two, I'm this much better at doing what I want to do. Is that you feel like that's true?
100%. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like I had people here and no longer here that I used to hear stories from them and just know like, okay, I will tell you, here's one story from Forrest Fanning, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I remember I hit him up and like Forrest would let me, here's the thing with Forrest, he would let me like call him pissed off and just go off and like, fuck this shit. And like, he would just hear me. And like, I have friends now who would be like, yo, MJ, like chill, you know what I'm saying? But like Forrest would just be like he would let me rant and then he would rant back and I would let him talk. You know what I'm saying? So basically I remember there was one situation where an importer sent me an emerald. And it was like a dark one. I spent like good $1,200 on it. And it ended up going downhill, like ended up dying. And I was ready to call Forrest because it was a friend of ours who sold me the snake, and I wanted him to fucking like, yo, bro, like fuck this shit, right? And as soon as I got done ranting, he was telling me how he lost a $12,000 package. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, $12,000, and like he wasn't upset. He wasn't doing what I was doing. Like I thought I lost my life basically back then. 1,200, like I mean, on an emerald, I'm thinking like. You know, I don't know. I just took it really, really, really hard. But people like Forrest, Andrew Acevedo, I mean, there's so many people out there who get the respect that they have, but people don't understand the sacrifices, the heartache, the heartbreak, the relationships lost. Bro, fucking things are put. Life is at stake here for a lot of people. You don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And at the end of the day, these motherfuckers stand tall on their failures, bro. And I stand tall on my failures. And that's why I take it. That's why, I'm pretty like, I guess, stubborn, or I don't just give anyone my advice anymore because I feel like some people don't even fucking value the power of research on how they can actually find a lot of this information out on themselves that they want to. So they try to waste my time with a basic ass question for one thing, right? But then even that, like I've done a lot. I used to be Mr. like, hey, this is what's working for me, try it, and I would get like either pushback or I'm doing something else. And then an issue would keep popping up. And I'd be like, dude, you know what? People don't fucking listen. And that's what it comes down to. A lot of people don't fucking listen. And they feel like, oh, well, this guy gave me advice before. Let me go back and ask him again. I wear my emotions on my Instagram account. It's right there. You can see how I am with my reply back. Don't fucking leave me the fuck alone. I don't know what the fuck you're asking me right now. I don't care what fucking pastel you bought. Leave me alone right now. And that's just how I keep it, bro, because I mean, and I don't know, man, I do want to change that. I want to be more like, hey, yeah, here's my information. But bro, like the way I run, the way you see how much energy is coming out of me, right? So I tend to like spew shit out so quick to where I don't have energy for some things at sometimes. And that's why when I feel like that, I put my phone down and I try not to look at my phone because I won't always respond to a message how I maybe should, or because I'm tired and I'm just burnt out. And, you know, I feel like, you know, the way I clock in out of work now is on my phone. I'll literally, when I need to respond to shit, when I need to do stories and be active, I'm clocked in. But as soon as that dinner's ready or some shit with my wife, I clock out and I throw my phone on my bed and I'm done. And I don't see that phone till like 5 a.m. or whatever, 4:30, whenever I wake up. I don't even have, I don't even have notification push on I cancel all notifications on my phone. So even if you DM me, whatever, nothing pops up. I physically have to press the app and get in there to look at shit just because I don't want to get distracted. I don't want to hear my thing ring off. Like if somebody really wants a snake, they'll want it when I wake up at 5 a.m. You see what I'm saying? Some people try to live by their phone and say, well, I got to respond to shit. But at the end of the day, if somebody wants to buy that fucking thing, they'll buy it in a few hours when you wake up.
Well, yeah. If the cell is more important than your mental health or your family, you know, then you got your pillars, you know, not balanced properly. So, but you get that. You've already put some things in place, you know, and that I think that's advice that people need to understand too. Is like a lot of guys are doing this full time. This is their life. This is, you know, but there's procedures and processes in place that make them sustain. because you can't just do this all day, every day. If you're a full-time breeder, you can't be just checking your social media, looking at messages, doing all that. You'll get burnt out in less than a year.
Well,
You have to have some process.
And if it just fucks up the flow of your work too, you know,
Sure.
what I'm saying? Like, and like, I, especially when your clutches are coming and things are coming, like you just don't have time to just sit on your ass and just be looking at your phone. There's only so many hours in a day, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like I said, I just, for somebody who's been grinding so hard on social media for years now, I've been grinding hard on social media, and I don't know, like the only reason why I have social media is because what I do. Like I only fucking post because my snakes and I want to show my hard work, and it is what it is. But it does come at a point in time when you've been doing this for so long, you either need to take breaks from now and then, or just not be just don't be so responsive. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be, you don't have to respond to that person at 2 a.m. Like, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just what I do, because at the end of the day, I know I have energy a lot, but who knows when this is going to tap out. I don't know if I wake up tomorrow and I'm going to just be just like, fuck this. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, but
I was having some good conversation. I can't remember who gave me this quote, but they're like, you only have 2 hours or 24 hours in the day, and so what are you going to do with it? And that just really puts things in perspective. Like, what do you value? How much you're going to put into your business, how much you're going to put into your, your work. If you're doing both, how much you're going to put into your family, how much you're going to put in, your animals, etc. Like,
right.
And maybe just even being intentional about that, just so you're not overextending yourself. But
before we get into this next topic, I do want to say, we were talking earlier how you got mad fucking heavy hitters in the early comments. A lot of people I respect and love. One of them right here being my boy Troy Schroeder, best dressed balls. Dude. And dude, this guy right here, man, I want to tell you, he's the most consistent OG breeder who shows up, pops up during the new Breeder on the Block series, showing all you guys love, dropping $25. Super chat. Let's see what he said. Rodney, I can honestly say my wife, I'm just kidding. My wife and I both have enjoyed times at shows and dinners with you. You're one of the real ones. Hope to see you soon. NARBC St. Louis ? MJ, appreciate you and what you do. I appreciate you, Troy. But NARBC St. Louis, what you know about it? What do you
Yeah, that's right down the road. So I'll definitely see you there, Troy. And the feeling is mutual. I met Troy just kind of on the circuit, in public, and he's always made time. He's always been super candid with me. Like if I ever had questions or wanted to talk to him, he always, made time. I've sat with him at dinners. Just a fantastic person. So I think a lot of people know him just, as a snake breeder, but the human being is twice as good. So great guy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, especially in the beginning when like Miguel and only a couple people were really the people I really talked to, and I would go to shows. Like I almost purposely try not to meet people. I didn't want to have friends, right? And Troy was just somebody who like we crossed paths, and I was like, I have to be friends with this guy. Like I don't like he just, I don't know anything about him. I do know that he's a guy who wears his coat every show I go. He's wearing this fucking coat and he's backing it up. He's repping it to the fucking fullest. And he always lived it up to this day. Rocks the coat. He's not a gimmick. He's the real deal. And that's why I love Troy.
Yeah. Every time I look at his table, it just keeps getting better and better too. Like he's doing it on all levels. Like that's the cool part. He's
really leveling up on a different fucking, like, I'm just like, yo, Troy, chill, bro. And then like his multiple coats at his table. Like he's balling out right now, bro. He's fucking really doing it. Proud of you, Troy. Keep killing it. I appreciate the influence on the new experienced breeders. I mean, Troy's just a real one. He's tapped in with a lot of other OGs in the game as well. So Troy, thank you again. But this is leading into the next topic I want to talk about, because you were talking about how, you're at shows, interest of geckos and whatnot, and then the ball pythons caught your eye. And then obviously there's a whole nother community. The ball python community, its own world, right? Not always the easiest place to get your feet into, right? So how did you work your way into the ball python game? I'm just curious. And we can even start this with like what investment snakes did you first buy, and then who were they from, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no, I started off slow, just going to local shows, Kansas City, St. Louis, and I met some people that were from Missouri, and so I started talking to them, kind of understanding how things worked a little bit. A lot of the listeners are familiar with Ben Rennick. His building was 45 minutes away from me. So I know a lot of people that work there and that, are associated, with him. And so, you know, when you're around those types of folks and those types of individuals, they pretty much warp speed you into knowing about genetics, understanding about breeding, you know, and having the conversations you need to have to get on your feet. But in terms of like investments, before I knew that we were going to be a businessman, I was buying stuff that, you know, people would laugh at. You know, I was buying pied stuff. I was buying het pieds. I was just keeping it on a low scale because I really wasn't sure if we were going to do this thing. Right. I had no idea. So as soon as we made the decision to really do this, like, I knew that pied was a foundation for us just because of the recessive aspect. And then I started catching on to like the community, and really tonight, my message is going to be, I want to make pied great again. You know, there's a lot of people that are like, hey, it's too high pattern or too high white. You know, so I think for me, the biggest thing is just focusing on codoms and other different genetics that are going to make a very good looking pied with, you know, 50-50 patterning, you know, with all the clarity of the pixels that like DG will do. That's a project that we're in right now. Have some DG pied females growing up. I've invested in a lot of people. So, you know, Will over at RCR, he'll be the number one. Like, I took my first super big plunge with him. You know, he's just a guy that's undeniably just doing his thing. Like, he's another person like Troy who I instantly connected with, and has been super supportive. So he got me into the DG game, with a powerhouse early. You know, I called him about, hey, you have any single gene DGs? He's like, no, no, I don't, you know? And so then he had what ended up being a five gene DG that, you know, made a lot of our het pieds or our double het stuff, which is good.
You get instant trap credit from your boy if you get anything from Will, because it's not easy.
Yeah. And so obviously Justin was another one. Early in the game, we really liked the highway and the gravel project. You know, super gravel, I think is the way to go for me. I'm just really hyped on a lot of the super forms of things, you know, and really taking the super forms to the next level, which a lot of guys, you know, kind of get singularly focused on the regular codom, which I'm looking at super forms more of a recessive project. So that's kind of my focus. But yeah, we got a highway pied, a killer highway pied from Justin early in the game. That made us some nice animals that were growing up. And it just kind of went from there. You know, we just continue to get more comfortable with investment level animals and continue to kind of grow the collection as years went by, and got more and more comfortable with breeding, expanded our racks, and went through some hardships in terms of like learning curves and things of that nature. Nothing too extravagant or too extreme, but you know, we had some falls, some animals pass, what have you. And, you know, we just kept on pushing. So what the industry looks like now, from what I heard it was, and when I was a kid, hearing my friends' dads talk about, it's just so amazing. Like, you can pick up the phone and call a lot of people, and they'll make time for you, you know, and if they don't make time for you, they'll tell you when they have time, you know, which is different.
So, Rodney, I'm going to tell you the reason why I have the attitude, and not that I have an attitude. Some people say I do, but the reason why I just don't give a fuck if you fuck with this channel or not, like, you know, and I hope it does go somewhere, because I am investing a lot into it now. But at this point, the way I look at this, if people don't like how I am, if people don't like what it is that this channel is about, I am gaining not only the fucking most best knowledge from people who've been in this, but I'm becoming fucking friends with these people. I'm talking about, hello, let's talk over the phone type. Fuck this goddamn texting shit. I am physically here. And guess what these OGs like? They like to talk on the phone. They don't like the fucking, I mean, like, if you really feel like you're going somewhere off a relationship off a text, you're not. I'm sorry. You ain't
limited.
It's limited. You're only this far. But when you actually are able, and here's the thing too, like, if there's a niche, a lot of these guys aren't on social media. A lot of them aren't easy and open to say, here's my number, give me a call. But this is what this does, bro. You think I want a sticker swap, homie? No, I want fucking a relationship with somebody who's been in this for years, and I want to be them someday. That's it. I mean, you are who you hang around with, so be like, go after people who you want to be like. That's all I gotta say. Like, And that's why I do this podcast, because I saw the attraction it was getting. And I mean, not the new I preach the newcomers and stuff, but it's getting the OGs, like people who are hiding under rocks that just want to come out now and say, yo, I'm down to fucking speak on some shit. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
everything needs.
Well, like you said before, like I think some people try to come out earlier, you know, in different chats and what have you, and they got their head bit off, you know. So that's why you go under a rock. You know, you try it early and it didn't work, and they're like, I'm not fooling with this. I'll just work on my animals and my company or whatever. But what these environments look like now is just night and day compared to, you know, 10, 15 years ago. So I think you are going to get more people that are just like, hey, MJ, I want to try this out. Like, here's my badass collection that I've had for 20 years. Let's talk about it, you know?
Yeah. And still, man, and like, and what's crazy is, like, I've had people on here who, like, it's not like they came on the show and then they like were like, all right, I'm back on social media. No, they went right back under their rock, dude.
You're right.
It said peace. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, that is so sick. And like, honestly, like I feel like I'm so connected to this podcast that I don't feel like I'm ever gonna be tapped out anytime soon. Like, I'm always gonna be in tune because of like how much good it's doing, you know, for people who've been in this and people just coming in this. But I do admire the people who have the peace of mind who could just dip out and just be like, you know what I mean? Like the fucking Mark Baileys, the fucking, you know, like
there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many, bro.
There's
like,
so many. They don't even, people don't even have any idea. Like they're on zero social media.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of older guys around here that they just do their thing, man. They used to be like ex-zookeepers and ex-pet store owners, and they just do their thing and nobody even knows. And then like sometimes things will go on Morph Market, sometimes they won't. You know, and you're like, what is that? How does he have that? Oh yeah, I've been breeding for 25 years. That's how. It's crazy. Dude,
I'm a shout to the homie Ernesto. Do you know who Ernesto is? Justin Kabelka did a video with him about the paint gene. Do you know what I'm talking about? His name's Ernesto.
Yep. He was there at Tinley. We rap with him.
Sick ass homie, bro. Ponytail, glasses, fucking Chicano and shit, bro. We were smoking joints and he was just, we were talking, bro. He was giving me mad props and he was like, yo, man, like, telling me how much he fucks with what I do, but he's just not in tune with, like, he'd rather be behind the scenes, like, and I respect that, like, bro, like, people like Levance, people like fucking Justin, all these heavy hitters that are on the forefront, fuck with this dude, you know what I'm saying? And and there's like other Ernestos out there. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's people think whatever's on social media is what's real life, and like that's all there is. No, it's not. I feel like social media limits your fucking of what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like it
shows you the tree in front of you. It doesn't show you the forest behind.
Right. It shows you a gate, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it looks real pretty and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But behind that gate is either a nightmare or it's fucking really something part of reality that you want to be. Either way, you got to figure it out. And I don't know. And you know, like I said, social media is what makes the world turn around nowadays. But you just got to do good with it. It's like a drug. You know what I'm saying? Like any drug that you abuse could be really, I mean, I don't want to say do drugs, don't do drugs. But I mean, I know what I can abuse and what I shouldn't do. And I feel like the reason why I'm like learning to put my phone down during certain periods of the night or day is because I don't want to abuse the capability of social media. I don't want to fucking, I don't know, man. It's already difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just be more glued and attached to something, if that makes sense. Because like, we come from an era where, I mean, bro, in middle school we had beepers. You know what I'm saying? Like pagers. Like, bro, like we're pretty old. Like we're in the last legit era of we consider ourselves like OGs from like an era that is no longer living, bro. Like,
there's no cell phones in high school, man. That was it. If you wanted to sneak a phone call, you had to call somebody when they're on call waiting, and they could just sneak you in late at night. There's no just getting in.
Yeah, the first phone I ever had was my dad's, which I jacked it from him because we moved to Washington and there's all these rich people in Bellingham, Washington. Motherfuckers had money. Everybody had a cell phone, and I felt like a degenerate not having a cell phone.
Would you have a Nokia?
Yeah, Nokia. I used to play Snake on it. And
playing Snake?
Yep. And I remember my dad was like all stoked. He went through a divorce. He was going through a divorce. That's what moved us up to Washington. And he was going through some rough times, and he got his phone. And he's like, oh, I got a cell phone, sick. And the dickhead fucking spoiled brat I was like, I just took that thing, which just used it everywhere I went. And you punk me for it every now and then, don't get me wrong. But dude, the fucking, I just never could trip out about a cell phone. Like I always thought I was the coolest motherfucking ever that I had a cell phone on me.
Yeah,
like I always it was that confidence. Like, yo, I got a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
oh,
I remember when the first camera phone came out, man. It was I think it was the first, but it was a Sony, and it had like a lens. You had to open it, and it was on the back. It was a flip, but it had a lens on the back, man. It was a 1.3 megapixel. I thought I was doing something.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, man, that's a trip. Okay, so let's kind of talk a little bit more as far as your investment moves, because like, for instance, whatever you made last year, what are you doing with that money this year? Or what are your plans with investments for 2022?
Yeah, so obviously, reinvesting back in the business is the name of the game. So, a lot of people that I consider mentors or people that I spend time with, always are making sure that, us younger breeders or new and up and coming breeders are staying focused on letting your snakes run your business. So whatever those sales are, reinvest it. So we've already bought some newer racks. The thing is, just like Danny was sharing with you, basically it's a 2-part deal. Like if you're raising snakes and raising rats, you're running 2 parts of, like, it's almost the dual operation. So we focused on grabbing a rack, Freedom Breeder rack for our rats. We're going to keep it. I didn't want to expand too far because we actually went into the housing market last year looking to buy, and then it went crazy, right? So, people are like outbidding us by 50,000 for a property that's not even worth it. So we kind of
don't even get me started. It makes me nauseous, bro.
Well, all my folks live in Cali still, so I'm seeing the gas prices and seeing that it's just ridiculous. But anyway, so I probably walked, I don't know, 20 plus properties and just gave it a valiant effort. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna wait. And so now I'm hoping that in the next couple of months we'll secure something, and then we can put like those earnings and what we want to invest further to use, because I didn't want to get a bunch of stuff and then have new space. And then, maybe that doesn't fit perfectly or what have you. So I kind of want to do it all at once. So once we relocate and make that big move, we'll start to solidify stuff. So even with breeding this year, I scaled way back. We had a good year last year, so I scaled way back this year. I have a white lace boy that's doing some work, but just because I don't want to miss that. But other than that, like, it's going to be real limited. And then we're going to move the collection. And then I'm really looking forward to this fall. Like, this upcoming fall should be like kind of the cream of the crop year, when you hit year 3 or 4 or 5 of growing your own hatchlings and stuff. So it should be good. I'm excited.
You want to know the main influence behind you being on this show tonight?
Who's that?
And before I even say this, because this is a heavy one, but I'm not liking the likes for my boy right now. There's a fucking gap of like 20 plus. Let's get the likes up. Hey, if RCR Mafia is really in the building, you guys need to regulate on these Bob Smiths and get them to hit the like button right now for my boy Rodney, because we still got heat. And I want to say this is going to be the heat, right? At the end of the day, I am very picky, especially for this new breeder on the block. I am not going to just let any new fucking breeder come on this show. I'm not. Right. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you have or, and respect. You could contact me, but that's not going to help me get you on the roster, right? But what I do, right, is I reach out to the other homies who have a legit Patreon community, family, and I say, hey, who are your Patreon family do you really feel like that you have a good feeling about? You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to know who showed you love? You want to know who put you on their top 5?
Who's that?
Guess.
Did you tell me already?
Did I tell you?
You might have.
Who?
Justin?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is hard, bro. I'm
That's
just
cool.
saying. Because I'm not going to lie. He gave me 4 other names, and I had no clue who the fuck they were. But because it was you, I was like, oh, done. This homie? I was like.
That's what's up.
But I'm proud of that, bro. Like that's awesome that my homie is on Justin's like top 5 breeder coming up type shit. You feel me?
That's
like
respect. Yeah.
No,
we're focused, man. We want to do something with this. It's not just, messing around anymore. We want to do something with it. Like, we're making financial and life decisions around it. I'm excited. So what we came from to where we are now is just mind blowing. And I just know from seeing everybody else's growth and everybody else's moves that, right now sky's the limit. So it's time to keep making moves. William, wow.
Yep. The Missouri folk in the building. So yeah. I got to ask you, man, how long you been in Missouri for?
I've been here like since college. I stayed here, so I never.
Good 10+ years.
Yeah, I stayed here
Damn.
because I could buy a house, and I didn't want to live in my parents' basement until I was 40. You know what I'm saying? Out on the
Right.
West Coast, so
For real.
you know, so yeah,
Like
I
my-
stayed
all
here.
my
I bought a
cousins.
house, and started my life out here. So yeah, I've been here for a while.
You know, I got a couple other players in Missouri. One of them, one of my favorite like guys, period, in the hobby, David Levison, man.
Dave,
Like,
yeah,
I love that guy, bro.
Dave's a
Like,
cool dude. I've
he's a
been
busy-
to that facility. It's ridiculous.
let me ask you this. You know, I've been doing remote podcasts and shit like that. Do you feel
Yeah.
like I should make a trip out to Missouri to his spot? And do you feel like it's something that's it's like on that level?
It's definitely crazy. It's
All right.
it's giant, but the reception's terrible. So I don't know how you're gonna.
It would have to
combat
be that'd probably be the one episode we would have to pre-record.
Yeah, he's
and
out,
I don't
he's
I
out
don't
by
mind
like an
because-
army base, like in the middle of nowhere. So you're not gonna get a lot of reception.
And honestly, I wouldn't like. I feel like I would be so paranoid about connection if we were going live with Dave, and I just want a solid fuck the
Right.
connection. Let's just get because he's so knowledgeable, bro, and
Endless
he-
knowledge.
he's respected by people who I look up to this day. Who fucking I'm just like yo, like and you know he's just a fucking amazing guy. So the fact that you live in Missouri, same
Yeah.
state of how far are you from him? Like what's the distance?
It's like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And
not too.
so,
it's
like,
not too
And then Missouri, are you close to any main airports or how's that? Where are you at?
every airport. So like I grew up next to 3 major airports, right? Oakland, San Francisco, and San Jose. So I'm so used to that. I was spoiled.
Right.
But now like I got to go an hour and a half to St. Louis or an hour. So I'm in the middle of the state.
Okay. So is
Yeah.
Dave an hour plus? So how far is Dave from the airport in
He's
St.
probably
Louis?
the same, about an hour and a
Okay.
half, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
with that being said, you guys obviously deal with a lot of fucking crazy weathers, seasons
Dude.
and shit like that. It gets really cold and not only do you have to adapt to being a West Coaster and shit like that, which I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
How is it dealing it with animals? I mean, do you kind of run into issues every year? Do you feel like is it different, or do you feel like you have
I
it
think-
dialed in?
One thing that I know you and Danny talked about in your last episode was living in California. Like you got to play it by ear. Like when you get a weather system, and he kind of breeds year round because of that. Well, here it's very seasonal dependent. Like it's very predictable. Like if any of those big breeders that you've talked to before, like Mark Bailey, what have you, they're really regimented upon like the seasons changing. So like in the fall, things kind of just cool down. You can use that to your advantage. You get a lot more weather fronts. You just, start popping in snakes on weather fronts. So a lot of it is really to your advantage because the barometric pressure changes are happening more often than they would say in a California climate where it's more stable. So I feel like, as a human and living your life, is it inconvenient at times? Yes. As a snake breeder, I like it because it's very predictable. Like, when the seasons, you get 4 seasons, you just play those seasons. Some guys do it differently, but I know that's worked for me and it's worked for a lot of the guys that I associate with. So,
I mean, as far as your association goes, I mean, do you have a wide range of people that you kind of stay close to? I mean, or are you kind of have like a niche group that you kind of stay like, how do you look at the community that you build around you? Do you keep it less is more? Or I'm just curious.
Yeah, I would say less is more just because I still have a 8 to 4 or whatever. So like you said, I can only give so much time.
What's your 8 to 4?
Yeah. So I work for a school district, long story short, I'm like a social worker. So I work with at-risk kids. I help families get connected.
Nice.
I coach, so that
you coach ball?
Little kids, man. I coach little kids basketball. Yeah.
Okay,
So I was coaching football and baseball for a while. But as my family grew, you just got to manage that time appropriately. And now with the snakes and everything, like, my time is valuable. So.
Dude, time is more than money at our age, bro.
Yeah,
we can't get it back. We just can't get that shit back, bro. And
No.
that's why I'm just like, I'm glad I'm realizing that now, not my 40s and 50s, and because of this fucking game, this game matures you on all levels. Like,
Yeah.
you got people like Stephen Cush, Andrew Acevedo, like barely 21.
Yeah.
And they're like, their souls
That's
are like
insane.
50. Their souls are like 50. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
because how like dialed in they've been throughout their whole lives, not wasting their time fucking or brain cells at raves or parties and shit. Like their parties was fucking cutting clutch opens and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
I talked to that
like,
guy for like 2 minutes at TINLEY, and I was like,
Oh, Andrew?
Everything. He's no Kush. I was
Oh,
like,
you
he's
did? Oh,
everything
good.
that MJ said. Dude is on point. He's quick-witted. He's intelligent. You know, we were looking
Yeah.
at those monitors that he had, and they're sick. Those were
Yeah.
showstoppers.
Yeah,
And
and so many people thought they were blue tree monitors, and they're not. They just look really blue when they're born. They're actually
they're born.
Persinuses, and they're green tree monitors. But you know, I thought they were blue too when they were first hatched.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, they're so beautiful, and oh man, I mean, I don't
How
know.
long
Like,
does it take them to change? It's like neonates; they just change as they
well,
mature.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it'll tone down throughout sheds. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it'll become more towards. But I will tell you right now, the parents for that fucking baby are like emerald fucking. They're more bluish than
Stunners.
green. I can tell you that right now. I
Yeah.
actually have like, because they have United States Captain born and bred.
Okay.
Some guy Brandon Van Asten, the guy I've had on the show, actually bred them. So dude, you know, anything United States Captain born and bred is going to be like the designer version of the animal, because
Right.
when something's brought from Indonesia or something, it's fucking picked out of the wild. But then once you start
Dude.
producing it, you get like the premium quality version of that animal.
Right.
So those fucking green tree monitors they have are the prime time top end of the green tree monitors. Like, huge goal of mine to have someday. Like, that's a fucking it's amazing thing.
They're
But
thick, man. They got a lot of attention.
now let me ask you this: what are your goals primarily? You know, like, I know you have an 8 to 4 and whatnot, right? But like,
Yeah.
let's say the ball python game just opens up for you, right?
Yeah.
Are you looking to get into any other, you know, avenues of projects with different species of snakes at all? Like, has that crossed your mind?
Yeah, I think once we expand and, you know, similarly to like what Justin did, you know, once he built his new building, he's like, hey, I want to dabble a little bit in this. I want to dabble a little bit in that. I could see us doing that. You know, I've always liked colubrids, you know, Mexican blacks, gray bandeds, like stuff like that. We had them growing up, corn snakes, or different, you know, types of king snakes. But even, yeah, maybe even taking a crack, you know, at some of the harder species to keep. So it just depends. You know, I have a pretty affording schedule. Like, I have summers off and I have a school schedule, which is great for, you know, raising a family and running BSR. So
Right.
it kind of helps out. So I can, you know, a lot of people are like, hey, are you going to quit your job? I'm like, absolutely not. I love it. And I have time to do both. So it's pretty good.
Right. Awesome. And now, do you have kids yourself?
Yeah, I have 2 kids. So my little man, he'll be 2 this
Wow.
weekend, actually. Yeah, he'll be 2. And then Maddie, she's 10 now. So, you know, we have a blended
Okay.
family. You know, I stayed here, like I said, things didn't work out
Respect.
perfectly, obviously.
Right.
You know, now I'm on round 2. So, you know, I had my hands together for Matt Summers, you know, earlier when you were asking for some, I had them together for him. Hopefully it works
Oh,
out.
God bless the homie. Okay, so, you know, so Matt, shout out to my boy Matt. You know, he's like, dude, I don't know. I don't have, like, especially in the snake game, I don't really have too many best friends. And Matt in the snake game is definitely my best friend, because he goes with me all these shows, sleeps in the
Dude's
same
pure.
hotel with me. He's like my ride or die homie, right? He's like my man Lily. It's I say
Hey, my man.
yeah, we just don't do like, we don't, you know, we only just eat, you know, with each other. We don't do anything else. But I'm just saying, like, I also know that Matt wants a fucking wife. He wants a family, just like I want to, you know, I want kids, you know, I have the wife, but Matt is a fucking legit guy. He's not a creep. He's not
He's pure, man.
You know, he's pure. There's people out there that don't deserve the women that they're with, or vice versa. There's men that don't deserve or you know, there's women who treat their men like shit. It goes both. I can tell you, he deserves a fucking legit girl, because how good of a guy Matt is.
For
So
sure.
that scares me on two different. Well, it scares me on a bunch of different things, because I don't want nobody taking advantage of my homie, right? and I would hope he would just look for red flags, and that goes for anybody out there. Any kind of relationship, you do have to be a little judgy. You do have to you got to look for any tiny red flags, any bit of bitchiness.
So are you
shadiness.
saying it's like snake quarantine? Is
Big
that what
dude,
you're saying?
yes. Bro, people think quarantine is just for your snakes. It's for your relationships too. You need to quarantine your relationships, because why you want to invest in so much that's going to probably fucking rip you apart inside? And then you're like, you know, you're Nido. Just kidding.
You're Nido, got you.
I love you, Matt. Okay, so other than him getting taken advantage of, he is literally like, he makes my life easy on the road. He's my fucking boy, bro. Like, I don't want no other travel manager than Matt Summers. I need Matt Summers. So anyways, Matt, if she's a real one and she passes multiple red flag tests, then we do Ruth Chris double date, and then I win her over and let her and explain I need him fucking 1 week in a month. That's it. And if she's cool with that, even when you have kids and shit, I'm talking in the future, but I'm just saying we need Matt Summers. Matt Summers, ladies and gentlemen. We're good? Sorry.
Are we good? Right.
All right. So how many snakes do you have?
Yeah, man. I don't know. A lot. Over 100. Over 100 animals, probably. Yeah.
Altogether, 100 animals or 100 snakes?
I would, just all together.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have as many leopard geckos anymore. I probably only have about 10. Yeah, it's like a 1.4, 1.4 is what I have for leopard geckos. And then I really just reduced everything down because we moved our tegu, we moved everything really, and just got dialed on the ball pythons, and then kept the leopard geckos, which when we move, we'll breed those again. They're just so enjoyable, man. Raising little leopard geckos and hatching them never gets old. Those little baby eggs are pretty awesome. So
I mean,
that's
a lizard species in general is just so fucking just adorable and amazing. Like,
they're awesome, and we can't keep them, man. Like, there's tons of kids want leopard geckos. Like, their families are so much more willing to invest in a lizard than a snake if they don't have a healthy relationship with a snake. And so a lot of the work that I do is like teach through that and talk about, the pros and maybe debunk some of their cons. Everything's education. If fear is usually tied directly to ignorance. And so if you can kind of focus on educating people, and I mean, Brian BARCZYK just did it, when he sat in was it Lucy's cage for 50 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about education. He's just like, look, these things aren't going to eat you alive. Right. And like took it to the next level, but
he really did that. Like,
he really did do that, bro.
Like, bro, like this is why, like, I respect Brian. Like, we're talking about like elite baseball, like people who are just meant to go as far as possible in baseball. That's a Brian BARCZYK in the reptile world. Yep. And that when you meet him, that when you talk to him, he's had this passion throughout his whole life. You know what I'm saying?
He's different. He's
so elite. Different, bro. He's very elite, and he's humble. He's everything I would hope I am in the reptile game at some point. Sure. Especially because how there are people that try to fucking chirp and still throw shade on him that isn't valid, but they try. Like, they really try. And I feel like no matter what I do, I'm still gonna have people. And this, it should be like, you should always have people trying to fucking talk down on what you're doing, because if you're not motivating enough, you're not inspiring enough.
Exactly.
And people get really pissed off on things that they feel like they can't accomplish or they can't do. And that's, some of them do it without making any noise. Like, there's quiet haters out there, but regardless, that pushes people. I hope I push people out there. And I know I do, because I see people starting podcasts. Yeah, a lot of them are rough. I'm not gonna lie. I try to give some of these motherfuckers a time of day, and just like, I can't even watch 30 seconds of it. It's like, it's the most cringy fucking thing ever. And I'm just like, and I don't want to be a snob, but I'm just saying, like, why can't you just talk? Like, just talk. Like, just fucking talk.
I think that's one thing that we can undeniably all agree on, everybody in the chat, is like, I know when I first started, it was early, like some of your first work, and you were just being you. Like, you were just on here being you, and we all vibed with that, and it was
and people, some didn't. Like, I was talking about the people that I don't really talk to no more, like the 2017 homies and a lot of them like didn't really, they to my face, they supported me, but they never.
But you gave them a choice. You were just going to be you, and you gave them a choice, but nothing was changing.
My boy right here, look, this is like, I have a personal good relationship with my boy Matt O'Malley's Morph, because he's one of the OGs. Cool, like, dude, I met this guy when he was hustling on YouTube. Me and him were like putting it, like barely getting any views, me and this guy. And I never heard him bitch. He just kept pushing his YouTube. And then, and then he just hit a point in his life where, like, his work blew up and his fucking projects blew up with the short tails. And he's just like, bro. He's just fucking a monster now. My boy, fucking Matt O'Malley's Morphs. So I love this guy, bro. This is a homie right here. And always stay true, always stay down. And I just respect people like this, because I don't know, man. Like a lot of people get so caught up in their own head. They get caught up in their own fucking, like they forget why they're doing what they're doing because they're too busy watching other people. You see what I'm
True.
saying? And if you're
Yeah,
watching somebody, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a perfect segue to, somebody that stays true to what they do. Like he was over here grinding on bloods and short tails when everybody was talking about ball pythons. I know he had some, but he was pushing them hard. He had me intrigued. He's one of the first people I just dipped over. I'm like, follow. Absolutely. I want to see what he's doing. And he never disappointed. He was always posting. He's teaching, talking about him, handling him. It's cool. Good dude.
I like I said, I have my way where I'm like, okay, if I'm getting out of something, it's because I know it's right or I feel like it's a smart move. And when Matt was going full ham into the short tail game, I had just sold my group of short tails, but I did not have a goal. I did not have a vision. I had random shit and none of it made sense. So, but I didn't, I still didn't know what Matt's plans were. Matt just told me, he said, fuck the ball python game. I'm going everything in the short tail. And I was like, oh man, I was just like, I want to tell him, no, don't do that. But like, he's a grown ass man. And, so I'm like, I just remember thinking like, I don't think that's just going to age well. And sure enough, bro, this motherfucker a year later gets his first clutch. And then the next year, which is last year, just hammers the shit, bro. And he's just on his way now, bro. Like, oh God, shout out to Matt fucking O'Malley's more, if I can tell you that right now. That's that right there. It's just like, this is why I'm glad I even did this New Breed on the Block series, because I've seen people grow and still be a part of this, and that I just really see a good future for. You're definitely one of them, right?
Props, yeah.
I'm just curious, who are some people out there who have really inspired you and gave you the type of longevity vision that you have to this day?
Yeah, I would say somebody that indirectly does, and he probably doesn't even know it. Like, when I was working in Fulton, Missouri, he owned a pet store there. His name's CJ. CJ Pets on like Morph Market and stuff. But he has a crazy legacy in Missouri. Like he's had crazy like animals and what have you, and just always produced fire. William is another person, that showed love earlier. That a lot of these people that are locally to me that have set the bar high, like with crazy projects, puzzle and stuff, that have had them way before any of this stuff was being advertised publicly. I have a lot of respect for that. On the major front, I would probably have to say Will probably took me under his wing from like an intimate standpoint, quicker or faster than anybody. So I'll definitely always show him love. Who else?
And to capitalize on that, that's not easy to do with Will. Will's cool, but he's not like the fake, like little he's like me in a lot of ways, bro. Will tell you how it is. I love Will. And if Will doesn't really feel like something's right, he won't tell you to make you feel good. He'll say nope. He'll be like, and I love that about Will.
And we need that. If you're gonna grow and you're gonna evolve and get better, you need somebody like that. And
the whole game needs that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you. People,
and then I have a lot of people that I spend a lot of time with that have been doing this less than me or on a different level than me that I just really respect. My guy Dorian, he's somebody he's somebody that I really respect. He's just dialed and focused. Jason.
Abe.
Yep. He's
exotic. Naming some good ones right now.
We've shared some time together quite a bit, actually. And I just really appreciate him. There's a long list, MJ, to be honest. There's a lot of guys that don't put themselves out there, that for whatever reason, like they feel like they should let their animals speak or whatever the case is. But anytime I share space with them, man, they have great things to say. They keep getting better. They're pushing me to get better. And I think I can learn from people that have been doing this for 25 years as much as I can learn from people that have been doing it for a year. And that's the one thing I feel like separates me from a lot of people is like, if I see that somebody's has a vested interest in bettering themselves and like doing this at a higher level, then I'm going to make time for them. But like you said, we don't have all the time in the world. All of us have had those, whatever you want to call it, like tire kicking conversations, whatever, where people are just sucking the life out of you with questions that aren't necessarily going to better them and aren't necessarily respecting your time. And that anytime you're breeding or selling a product is going to be something that we have to manage, frankly. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just the fact that you just say that the time thing, right? And I look for like my time management is micromanaged by myself so crazy to where I do take it personal. If you even are wasting my time trying to give me fucking props for something, and then you turn around and you say the opposite, like that, even fake energy, like don't even waste your fucking fake energy on me. You feel me? Because like that's not good for the hobby. If you
Right.
really don't fuck with somebody, and like learn how to express it, like learn how to express it. Like you don't
Right.
have to be like MJ and go ham. There's ways of expressing it, but being fake is just not the jam, man. And the reason why I'm even talking about this is because here I am going to the fucking Reptarium for the 4th time, kind of bummed out that Brian BARCZYK didn't meet up with me at the show. Like, I can't get Brian to come to a show because how much he just doesn't want to deal with that fucking fake bullshit. And, you know,
there's a lot of people that have that sentiment that we're in his era.
Yeah.
Somebody,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Somebody that I left out earlier too, that really connected with me quickly. And I know that he was busy and had a pretty good following when I met him, was Reggie too.
Oh my bro. Okay.
Yeah,
dude.
man. He showed me so much love. You know, just from day one, made time, you know, had lots of conversations. You know, we connect similarly to me and you, MJ, like, you know, on the athlete standpoint. You know, he was raising a daughter, same time I was raising my daughter. Like, we just vibe really well. And he's somebody that's helped me out tremendously too, just on lots of different things. So
if it's okay, listen, I want to talk to Reggie more, man. Reggie, I'm gonna listen. I link up with shows and I think to myself, why don't I talk to Reggie more? Because like Reggie is somebody who also, you know, I'm pretty sure he's been in this with animals his whole life. You know, like he has a crazy past working with Joe Exotics and whatnot. But as far as like Reggie Herbal Jungle, the way he's been pushing his Instagram, fairly around as long as I've been doing it. And you know, from what I noticed, I could be wrong. 2017, I've been following Reggie. I've been seeing his consistency of just staying down, being a family man, but then building a cool ass community. Like a lot of people fuck with Reggie, bro. Like Reggie is fucked up. Wait, I don't want to say fucked upon. That's weird. But I'm just saying people fuck with Reggie. You know what I'm saying? And big names, middle names, you know, new names, all that. And I do respect Reggie on all aspects, just because how well he's respected, but then how true he stays to himself. You feel me? It's such
he knows himself.
Quality.
He knows what he's comfortable doing and what he's not, and he stays right in his lane, and he keeps getting better with it. I mean, there's a lot of good people in this industry, man. Like, and my goal was to meet as many as possible. Like, that was really when I got into it. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm going to go to shows. I'm going to put myself out there.
I was going to say, how do you do that, bro? How the fuck do you do that? You go to shows. You don't go to group chats.
You go to this.
Yes.
I remember when the pandemic hit and you launched this, bro. This was the meeting ground. Yeah. Like you made a big impact on the industry by providing the space for people to come and talk about what they're passionate about and meet people in the chat. Like, I mean, you got to take some credit for that too. Like this space right at that perfect time didn't necessarily exist the way that it does now, you know, in my opinion.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, I the thing is, like, I'm not for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's to the point where, like, not some people rather not even just have to deal with me instead of hear the guests. So, and that's fine. If you're one of those people, you should still put yourself out there more. Like, all I'm saying is, like, find somebody that is your cup of tea, because it's only gonna, because bro, at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. And you know, even being on, having some ball players you just didn't always really fuck with as many like as others. Like, it was politic with my teams all the time. Like, I had homies that, like, you know, hey, let's not tell what's his name, we're going over to your pad tonight, please. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it was. And that's fine. But when it came down to game day, we all played together. And these shows, bro, you know, I see people I don't follow and people I've unfollowed, but it's not that I don't like them. I'm cool with you. You know, I'm still going to show you love. This is where we come together. Here's the thing. A lot of people that there was a time where I probably unfollowed like 400 people. And a lot of people took this really wrong. They thought, oh, you hit 10K and you just unfollow. No, the thing is I realized I was following a bunch of fucking ball python breeders that weren't relevant to what I love and what I want to do. And I just said, it's nothing personal. I'm going to fucking clean house. And when I did, bro, I felt so much better. And that's why I did it. Even though some people took it personal, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But where were we What were we talking before? I just wondered where were we going about this? So hold on. What were we talking about just before this? This always happens.
We were talking about how you meet people in the industry. We were talking about spaces that, you know, we share all in the same team, et cetera, et cetera. Like there's a lot of conversation about meeting people. And
I mean, at the end of the day, like, listen, you know, you're going to have people you don't like in this world. But if it's somebody in the same game as you, and like, you know, I'm relating this like the USARK incident. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people out there who are just fucking just like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know, and like, well, what the fuck? Like, so you have all these people who are willing to fork out cash to fight for animal rights. And this is proven that this guy is going to these fucking courthouses and literally raising these bans. Okay. And you feel like for whatever reason, even though you've had multiple successful breeding years, that you rather not fucking, you rather uncheck that fucking dollar when you ship your reptiles to a donation to USARK, and you rather just not be a part of that. Like, and I don't understand that. Like,
no.
And I feel like that's where it built, that kind of draws a line, you know, I feel like personally. But
yeah, if people are well educated on what it represents and still make that choice, I can understand that. I do think that there's a lot of people that still don't understand the magnitude of what they represent, and they need to. And that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, you know, there was a couple people that weren't familiar with your platform and like how to even navigate YouTube. And one of the things I said that you did that was really good for the industry and impressed me is your donations, like making making the donations to USARK. And that was how I advertised. I was like, yep, MJ's doing this awesome thing where anybody throwing in a super chat, he's donating it to USARK and blah, blah, blah. And that was part of the introduction, you know, and it's just little things like that are going to continually, you know, help support the people that are taking care of our rights, you know, and ultimately that word needs to be spread like wildfire. So,
I mean, I am not, how do I explain this? Okay. Money has been something. Okay, I grew up very spoiled. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, trust me, bro, I had the freshest cleats. I had the brand new glove.
Yeah,
but I had the Griffies, bro. I had the Griffey cleats, bro. I had the Mark. I played first base. So I was Mark McGuire, fucking first baseman.
The first baseman glove.
Yeah, you know, and when I raced motocross, fucking Alpine Star, like just to the like, I was just freshed out, bro. Where was I going with this too? What were we talking about?
Just about money. You said like,
yes. So, okay, so all this shit that I loved and I was just so obsessed with cost money. Like it wasn't cheap for my mom and dad to have me what I was doing. And then they got a point in our lives where my mom and dad got a divorce, and I basically stopped racing. Like shit happened where like, dude, like, you know, I didn't have these things, but I still wanted it. So what I mean, like, you know, then when I didn't have that, I kind of got mad. But then when I got my first job, I realized, I could write my own check. My first job was fucking selling phones in the mall. And I was good at it. You know what I mean? I was my first year, like made like $60K at 19.
Were you working for Verizon?
No, I went to Verizon after this. So my very first cell phone job was for a company called the Mobile Solution, and they sold T-Mobile. They sold T-Mobile and Singular at the time before it was AT&T.
Singular, it was bought by AT&T. I remember.
Yep. And I banged out so hard my first year in the mall that this guy at Verizon was like, "Hey, bro," he's like, "You should come apply here at corporate Verizon. I'll get you in." And it was hard. It was hard. Oh, I'm getting feedback. Check. Can you hear me? Okay. No. Anyways. But anyways, I was like, dude, like fucking, I got into Verizon, and that's when, bro, I was making more than my managers. Like I was just killing it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just that quick money. Like I learned, like I just wanted money just so I could have what I want whenever I wanted. And then
slippery slope.
Slippery slope. Right. And then I hit to my point where I was, you know, the cell phone game turned into the drug game. I started slinging fucking coke and all this other shit. And then that's when my life literally started deteriorating. Because I was trying to chase a DJ dream. I was trying to become a DJ fucking star, which just was not fucking really reality. So then I met my beautiful wife, where my life was already going down the shitter. And she was like, "Yo, listen, you sell drugs or you fucking be with me." And I was like, fuck. Like, so no more shortcuts. Like, no more, let me make a quick $1,000. That's gone. That means I can never, you know. So I did that. So as soon as I did that, bro, I was broke. My pride broken. My
and you weren't used to it,
bro. I was but the only thing I had was the snake game, because at that point when I officially stopped selling cocaine, it was like 2016 was like when
Right.
I think I sold a little more in 2017. I'm not gonna lie, but I was like literally at that stage where I was like, dude, I don't have no other choice. Like all I have is my 9 to 5. And bro,
Right.
I had I was a general manager at I did the gym stuff for a while, but then the gym stuff closed. And then I went to go be a GM, general manager at Office Depot, which I never worked in retail before like that.
Mhm.
And it was like the most depressing thing ever. My paychecks were just
Yeah.
like nothing. Like and it was a salary position. So I'm just like, I'm working for I'm used to making my own check. Like I'm used to like hustling where I can
Yeah.
make how much money I want to make.
Right.
In
On
this
commission.
job, bro, no motivation whatsoever. The only motivation I had was fucking my stories on my Instagram, posting, talking to Forrest. Like during all this hard time of being broke, I was building these relationships with like the people who are my motivation today to this day. And throughout those years of being broke, bro, my year was so big last year. Like I'm talking so big that I got money that I have not seen legitimately probably ever my whole life. I've never seen legit money like this my entire life, which is great. But it's opened up the doors for so many different avenues now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
All because you just, I don't know, man. Like it's right time, right place. It's I don't know. I just feel like things happen for a certain point in your life, and I just feel like in my life I got a good taste of my own medicine of hitting rock bottom, which I don't even feel like it really was. I've seen people hitting rock bottom. I had my
but
wife.
you learn though. That's the difference. Some people get those lessons and they don't do anything different.
They don't change. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, and I could have easily chose to just continue to sell drugs and say fuck everything and try to do the snake stuff, and that stuff did not go hand in hand, bro. Like I literally had to choose one or the other, and I made the best decision of my life because of the animals and because of my wife. I know because of my wife first, but I don't know, man. Like my debt is always owed to the animals to the day I die. I can never pay these animals back. I feel like 110%.
And I think that's a message that a lot of people can take and apply to their own situation. And it might be different circumstances, right? But there's always something that you could refocus on, get more efficient at, or better yourself with. And that if you're not doing that self-work, then the animals are going to take a toll regardless. So, and
that's my biggest motivation. Like I'm not gonna let the animals suffer because I can't take care of my own shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lose my wife because I can't fucking get my shit together. You see what I'm saying? Like there's people out there who bitch about. There's people. I have friends out there. I'm not gonna, obviously name drop because I love them, but I have friends out there who talk shit about marriages and talk shit about like anything positive because they can't get their shit together.
Right.
And I used to be one of them. You see what I'm saying? So, things in life that are worth having are going to be hard, but you have to work for it. Get your shit together. Like, and I'm like I've said, I only know this now because I have animals that I fucking obsessed with. I have a wife I'm obsessed with. I have something good that I don't want to lose. And guys, at the end of the day, I don't care how sick your collection is. It could be gone tomorrow. Like this shit could all just be gone. Something could happen, wipe it all out. You don't know. Like
there's this concept, MJ, called PERMA, and I've talked about it before, but it's positive energy, engagement, relationships, motivation and achievement, or meaning and achievement. And all of those things like have to come together for you to like have some sort of successful result or just achieve like some sort of meaning in your life. And a lot of people don't have one or the other. Like you said before, these guys are negative about their relationship. They're missing the positive emotion, so they can't get to the goal that they're wanting. Everything that you've talked about.
That's why I don't even like try to press them or get mad at them. I feel for them. I'm like, God damn, that sucks. Cause I know what it's like. I know what it's like to really want something, but can't figure out how to get it because of you. And a lot of people are so victimized, man. A lot of people are so like, well, because of this and that, but they can't fucking look in the mirror and just say, yo, it's you, idiot. And like, I've had enough people telling me like, yo, you're blaming other shit, but it's you. And shit, when things don't work out in the fucking, I take fault, even though it's not out of my control. When something dies, it's still on my hands. It dies on my hands. So I take 110% responsibility on anything that happens in this room, that room, period. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good mentality to have as a pet keeper, as a parent, as a husband, as whatever, that's a good mentality to possess.
So let me ask you this. Talking about going to shows that like you've been going to, what's your game plan vending wise? Like, do you have a goal and to become a vendor at some point
I spent a lot of time with local folks helping them out, like around vending local shows and things like that. And really at this point, I really haven't felt any like huge aspiration to want to vend. I might partner up and do like a collab with somebody, a table, here and there. But I like to be out from the table, to be honest. I prefer to be away from the table. But that's just me now. That might change. But yeah, and also help wise, right? Like if you're vending a table, you could see like a lot of the guys that have been vending for a while, they have collabs, right? They have collaborations. They either have somebody helping them or friends right next to them or what have you. So nobody can do this on their own, especially not vending a table. And if you are doing it on your own, you're limited, right? You're limiting yourself from maybe a bathroom break or something that's important, right? Like, so you really got to be intelligent about how you're going to approach it. But I wouldn't say it's off the table, but it's not a priority for now.
I mean, you definitely have to have some sort of game plan or crew with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I would, because I can't just be stuck behind the table 24/7, and I take like multiple piss breaks. So, that'd be difficult.
Exactly.
But
could you imagine like being in the corner, like in a corner in Tinley, like the furthest walk away from the bathroom? Like you just be trapped back there.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like there's like two, and tell me if I'm wrong, right? But there's like two completely different vibes to Tinley. And there's like the dark carpet weird side, right? Where it's like the carpety, like smaller room. And then
on the right.
When you walk in on the right,
when you
right?
walk into it.
And then on the opposite side where Cold Blooded Cafe's at, that's like more of like the open area. And
the taller displays and
I love that area way more than the carpet area. I get like super like I feel like something's gonna go down there all the time. I don't know if it's haunted. I don't know what it is, but like it's crazy because you go from hearing people talking and like it's really loud, and then all of a sudden there's like a muting sound when you get to that orangey carpet area, and it's like you just
it is a
around.
different vibe over there. I never really thought about what. Yeah,
but I've also heavily been medicated mushroom wise on every time I've been there. So I mean, I don't know. It's just something about that area where I'm just like, all right, I gotta go. And it sucks because there are some cool, tables in that area. But what were some of the tables that really threw you? Oh, like that kind of just like, wow, like the ones that glued you to them at Tinley that stand out?
I would say just Josh Jackie's table. All props to a Midwest guy. He always brings some heat. He had some cool animals there for sure. Steve's Morphs had some cool animals. I mean, obviously,
Steve, that's my boy.
Yeah. Shelby and Troy and Joe and Justin. I mean, it's hard to beat that avenue, man. But they're so busy as well. But I mean, the thing that they have going for them is just absolutely incredible. Like it's just banger after banger after banger down that row. So that's cool. Chris from D Exotics had really cool displays. He had them in St. Louis, but like he's way up on the rafters. And it's like above everything else. So you could see his stuff from the whole, if you were over in the dark side, you could see it all the way across the building. And he had like the LED lights coming down. It was fresh. It was sick. And so that was a vibe for sure. Like I was like, okay, he's the only one doing it like that. He had like booms, like a stage, and then everything was built on top of that.
Who is this again?
It's D's Exotics.
Chris. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dude,
Florida guy. He has the rattery.
Yeah. I was like, hey, very, very player display, bro. Like it looked like a fucking party in there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At St. Louis, he brought a blow up unicorn. He had like Coco in it. Like you could take pictures in it. It was a party. It was cool.
I love that shit, bro. So I mean, other than Tinley and stuff, like, do you ever have plans to come to a West Coast show at all, or what?
I really wanted to go to the LA area one, to that super show. Yeah, I really did, but it just wasn't in the cards. It was in January. COVID was kicking back up over here. It was kind of weird.
What about July?
July, I'm trying to make some moves. I might be headed up north in July. That's my birthday, so trying to make some moves. But is that when the other one is? July
9th is the or the weekend of July 9th, which is that July 9th is a Saturday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the 8th through the 10th.
Yeah, my guy Terrell lives out there, but he's in the Navy, so sometimes he's out to sea or what have you. But if he's back and docked, he's the one that was been trying to get me out there. And if I could spend some time with him and then make a tour on the show, I would definitely go out there for sure.
Tight, bro.
Are you doing Daytona?
Nah, bro, because my boy Ari is getting married, so I have to DJ his wedding. Well,
Okay.
I not that I have to, but I'm going to
That's
DJ
going
his
to be your
wedding.
contribution. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's gonna go down at literally the weekend. I had plans on going to Daytona, don't get me wrong, but that literally changed as soon as he invited me to his wedding. But then I don't know if you know this, the end of August, Brian BARCZYK's having this huge ass event in Orlando called
Okay.
Animal Con.
Okay.
And it's being thrown by Brian BARCZYK, Bob Ashley, and Brian Potter, the ones who throw the
Yeah.
NARBC. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Florida, but
Good
though,
to
I mean,
know.
how far is the trip to Florida for you?
It's not too far of a flight. We're closer to Florida than we are Cali.
I would assume so.
So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I always say we're in the middle of the country, but we are a little bit closer to Florida. So,
Yeah,
you know,
Troy,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, go. What'd you say? You're not what?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. It's probably like a 3-hour flight, I would say.
Troy mentioned, and you know, I was talking to Rami earlier today, hanging out with him, and we were talking about the Vegas show. He thinks the Vegas show is going to be cracking. So
That's undeniable.
I definitely have plans for that, Troy. You could count on me being in the Vegas show for sure. And man, that's going to be wild, bro. Vegas, whew, who knows what's going to go down there? I know David Levison's pulling up. It's going to be a heavy show for sure.
Yeah, Vegas is heavy. Just add snakes. Oof.
Man, and that's going to be September, so it should still be pretty hot. I mean, it's going to be a little cooler, but it's still going to be hot. It's still going to be hot. All right. I have a wrap-up question for you, okay, before we get into the hot seat questions. And I'm just curious, you know, not really this year, but next year, the following year, years on after, what are some of the projects that you're hoping that carry you throughout this whole time of being in the game? What are your diehard projects?
I'm dying on the Blackhead Hill. So super Blackhead stuff is really going to be a focus of mine. I want to see what we can do with like making some more contrast pop in it, seeing what other patterns come in it. We've seen some super Blackhead stuff, but just the entry level. We haven't seen a lot of crazy super Blackhead stuff. And so you can't really be Blacks and Reptiles without Blackhead being a focus. I want to get lace into a lot of things. I have a white lace male that I got maybe last year, 2 years ago.
I was going to ask you, okay, what's lace, white lace? What's white lace and lace?
White lace is a super form of lace.
Okay, that's what I thought. I remember.
Yep. So it's a super form. Yeah. I got him from CV Exotics over there, who's one of the early breeders of the white lace, and it's just a great example. So that's another thing. It's just being picky with the examples of animals that you're buying, you know, because there's genetics and then there's like superior animals. Like we talked about there being superior athletes and there being superior just animal people. That goes for the animals too. You can have good genetics, but the animal doesn't necessarily represent them at the most elite level. So just really focusing on getting quality, high representations of each animal that we get moving forward is a priority. But yeah, super Blackhead stuff. DG for sure is in there. And then I'm a puzzle guy, man. I really like the project. I think that it's going to do big things. I don't have as many animals as I would like, but I have enough for now. And I'm just going to keep adding them as they go. So, but yeah, I think puzzle, heavy. DG, super Blackhead stuff for sure is at the top of my list. And I heard you talking too on another podcast about kind of having your hand in a few other areas. And I firmly believe in that. I know there's a lot of advice given to get this project and dedicate a rack to it. But until you know what you want to go into 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road and what you're going to continually produce and associate with your brand, it's tough to do that. You know, there's some guys that have done a phenomenal job with that. Will's one of them. Like he knows that he's DG. He's dying on that hill. Like that's the gene that he is rolling with and has for years. But for some of us, you know, it's better to dabble into a few areas. I know that's something that Reggie does. He's got a bunch of recessive projects going on, and then he'll refine that as time goes on. And I think that's where we're at. So we're going to play with some recessive stuff, see what we like the best, see what our customers like the best, and then we'll refine it from there. But you can always find some Blackhead here.
Shooters take their shots.
Yes, sir.
I was once told. Fuck, man. What a great episode, Rodney. You straight killed this shit. Wait, you got hot seat questions, though. You got hot seat questions, my man.
I love them.
You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So these hot tea questions, I'm not coming light. I'm coming whole milk with this shit. You hear me?
Yeah. Get 'em.
You know how I like these? I like these quick and fast.
Okay.
You feel me? You ready?
Yeah.
Hot seat questions from my man Rodney, Black Sun Reptiles. Here we go. 8 cut or no cut?
Cut.
Frozen thought or live? Let's see what I
Live.
did there. All right. Chondro or emerald?
I like emeralds. They're big. They're like. Go ahead.
You said you like emeralds are big.
Yeah. They're just the bulldogs, bro.
Right.
Their
All right.
heads are ridiculous.
Favorite ball python morph?
Super blackhead.
Least favorite ball python morph?
Normal.
You're an asshole. I'm just kidding. Number day you like to feed after first shed?
After a first shed, yeah. Same day, next day.
Same day, next. Dude, you got to pick, bro. Is it
Next
the
day.
Same? Okay,
Next day. Yeah. I might not catch it that same day.
All right. Yay imports or boo imports?
For me, boo.
One reptile you would import if you can. Any reptile.
Black mamba.
One reptile we should never import ever again.
Oh, geez. Ball python. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, heavy. Yeah, you're a lot of other people mad right now. I'm just.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
We got lots to do. We have lots to do in this country already.
But I still need an animal, bro. Are you gonna say ball python? Are you going with ball python?
No, we need imports.
But I'm just saying, if there was one we shouldn't import ever, what can you think of a reptile we don't need to bring in here ever again?
No, I
Wow.
can't. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I can't think of anything. I can think of some animals, just not
So
that.
pass. Okay.
Pass.
To
Right.
mist or not to mist? Like to spray
Mist.
an animal or to not to
Yeah,
mist?
yeah.
Okay.
Missed.
Sports or no sports?
Always sports.
Favorite sport?
Football.
Favorite football team?
Steelers.
Biggest
Black and yellow.
rival?
What's that?
Biggest rival?
Of the Steelers?
Yeah. For you, like, what's the team you hate the most?
Ravens, man. Boo.
Ravens? Okay, yeah, thought so. Big flexor or no flexor?
No flex.
Steak or fish?
Steak.
Favorite cut of steak?
Ribeye. Medium rare.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
West Coast rapper or East Coast rap?
West Coast.
Favorite West Coast rapper?
Pac.
Respect. Little word association. First thing to come to mind. Milk.
Cookies.
Cocoa.
Oof. Nut.
Substrate.
Moist.
Ovulation.
Let's go.
Mites.
Preventative.
First time ball python breeder.
Welcome to the party.
Instagram trolls.
Mute. Block.
Respect. I like that. The mute thing's so powerful, bro. Oh my God. I love mute. All right. If you had to get rid of one platform forever, I mean forever, is it going to be Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Peace out. Shit. Listen, mad respect to you. We had about over 80 people at one point during this live.
Sure, man.
Mad respect. A lot of people in the live being very active. So thank you to everyone in the live chats. But what do you have to say, my homie, to all your supporters, everyone who came, tapped in tonight, spent their Monday night here with us? What do you got to say to everyone?
Yeah, just big props to everybody for showing up. You know, I've got a lot of feedback throughout the week. You know, once people knew that I was going to be on the show, a lot of DMs, a lot of messages, a lot of phone calls. So I just appreciate everybody's support, and just know, you know, when it's your turn to be in the spotlight, that it's coming right back. So just much love to everybody. Hopefully you guys will be hitting all the projects that you guys are trying to hit. And hopefully you'll be just as tuned in this fall when it's game time for us. So thank you. Thank you to everybody.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, Rodney, I appreciate you coming on the show, spending your time with us. And
For sure, big dog.
Stay true like you've been doing, man. Like I'm telling you right, you got mad respect on this end. And yeah, man, I'll definitely be in touch with you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Sounds good, MJ. Be good.
Black Sun Reptiles, ladies and gentlemen. All right, player. Have a good night, man.
All right, boss.
Later. What a guy. Ball player too. Man, I don't get too many ball players on here like that I can relate to like that. So that was awesome. I appreciate everyone. You know, everyone's showing my boy support. The reason why it makes me happy that you guys are all here to show support, because I see this guy showing mad support to so many other people. The times I do poke my eyes at other podcasts, I see the homie here chopping it up with all these motherfuckers, being supportive. And honestly, I respect the shit out of that. So thank you so much for showing the kind of love that this guy deserved. Thank you for all the likes. Hella respectable on the likes. If you happen to come in here later on and you forgot, no big deal. Hit that like button for my boy Rodney before you dip out. And then, yeah, man, I thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. Before I let you guys go, reminder to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, the Snake Trap Sessions vlog. Go to YouTube, go to the search button, Snake Trap Sessions vlog, subscribe, notification bell, because I am dropping part 2. That is right. Let me show you the thumbnail. You guys ready for the thumbnail? All right. So part 2 of RepTech facility tour is going down Wednesday, 8:45 a.m. I'm telling you right now, this shit is going to be sick. So just make sure you go subscribe. I'm telling you right now, if you don't subscribe, you won't see it. I want you guys to catch it. Premiering 8:45 a.m. Wednesday. Okay. So, and then again, also go subscribe to the Trap Talk Clips YouTube channel as well, and you can catch every single clip that I drop. And one more thing, you see this sick ass podcast shirt, sick ass pocket tees? Well, guess what? They're still available. If you want to get your hands on one of these sick ass limited edition Trap Talk with MJ podcast pocket tees, trapping is a sport, definitely not for everyone. But if you feel like trapping is a sport for you, hit me up. Send me an email to thesnaketrapsessions@gmail.com, or just hit me up on Instagram and I can tell you or show you how you could get one of these shirts. I don't know what, I have a little, like handful of sizes left, but majority all sizes in stock. So hit me up, because I'm never coming out with another wave of these again. These will be an iconic shirt, as they already are. So again, appreciate all my Patreon members. I love you guys. Go down to the link, join the Trap Talk Patreon family member, come make us stronger. Because we need some real ones. Not with that we need it, but we could definitely use some more real ones. So appreciate everyone tuned in. Okay, one last thing before you guys dip. One of the biggest shows in history, I feel like, about to go down this Thursday. I'm super stoked. I'm taking my notes. I am ready to rock and roll. I am going to give you guys the best fucking interview I possibly can this Thursday with my man, my hero, one of the guys I look up to the most in the Conjure community, Greg Maxwell, coming back into the game. Let's learn about it. Let's see what's good. Going down Thursday night, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Again, shout out to everyone who showed my boy Rodney support. You guys have a good rest of your night, and I'm out. Cheers.